Yo, YouTube. How's it hanging, bros? And indeed, hoes. Maybe? I don't
Don't
know.
forget the hose.
We never forget the hoes at
No.
PTG. I'm
We
Lucky
don't.
Sixes. He's Hyper G.
He is.
In summary, we're very respectful of women. Was what that was suggesting.
I think the fact that you had to say it out loud, or you felt you had to say it out loud, kind of undermines it. But
It's just like a summary. It's just like a
it's done
summary of
now.
things. You know what
We have
else
to
is a
live
summary?
by it. What's that?
This review of
Oh,
battle books
yeah.
that we've got going. This is one of many, and today we
It
focus
is.
on the little stunties, the Dwarven holds.
Isn't this one we're massively looking forward to?
Well, all the sea of red, right? Am I right? Put in the comments if I'm right.
Well, I need to watch the review first.
That's true.
I
That's
can't.
true.
I mean, bold prediction if they go now with the comments, but
yeah,
don't let me stop you.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. Do one now and then at the end and see if you were right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, as always, we're going to go through all the points changes because that's pretty much all this update is.
That is what it is.
But also, it is about fluff, and as with all the books, there is a map of fluff along with a little passage. And as you can see, the dwarves keep themselves to themselves in the mountains.
They do quite confined.
Yeah.
These fellas.
Yeah.
Probably the least spread out of all the armies that we've seen so far.
Some would say they're living in isolated mountain bastions, but
some would.
Each your own, really. But yes, they all come with little snippets of fluff. In which case, the Dwarven holds, fortified in great halls, carved under the mountains. The Dwarven holds are mighty strongholds, defended by a short but indomitable people. Valuing honour above all else, hold dwarves are determined and ferocious defenders of their principles and property alike. They are peerless builders and crafters, creating fearsome weapons as well as mastering the unique discipline of runecraft to exploit the power of magic, even as they eschew open spellcraft. A dwarven host in its full splendour, voices lifted with oaths and ale song, represents a formidable threat indeed. Hold dwarves.
Yeah. Yeah.
An interesting one.
That was a very great effort towards the word indomitable. You said it better than I did. Actually, I thought you dealt with that really well in the sentence.
I'm not going to lie, most of these passages have more words than I've ever seen.
Or read, ever.
Or read. So,
yeah.
If you're watching this, folks, you're watching me learn to read, essentially. As we go. Yeah. Learn to read with Lucky Sixes. That's what this is. But yes,
I mean that's the series right there.
I know. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, after the horsing hour with Matty B, he'd obviously get primetime TV. And he would get like the late night slot, really.
Absolutely, yeah. There are more. There is more on the second page about the runes and the honors and the technology. And as we go through the book, you'll see that there's little snippets along in the army model rules and with most of the units as well. So we'll probably pick some of them up as we go. But that was just a taste of what's to come in this book and all of the rest of the book. So do go check them out. A lot of work's been put in, and it's pretty good. We'll remind you at the end, but put your best fluff in the comments, please.
Yeah, do that. And if you win the best fluff ever, no, there's no judging. That'd be far too indifferent.
There, as we alluded to, there are no rules changes, so all of this stuff at the start of the book stays the same. Armory stays the same. We go on to runes, and there are a few changes, all for the positive in terms of Dwarven runes. Yes.
Yeah.
Rune of Precision down from 35 to 25. That's decent for lightning reflexes. Always good. Granted, not one I've seen a lot, so perhaps with that in mind to try and make that a bit more competitive. I'm struggling with the easy words now. Runic standard of steadiness goes from 15 to 10, as does the runic standard of the anvil. Both of those going down to 10 points. I think that will get into a lot of BSB builds just because of 10 points having 10 points left over. Sometimes you get
maybe.
So maybe that's the idea, to get them to the point where they can do
so
that.
throwaway allocation sort of thing. Yeah. I mean,
So,
I've only ever really seen Runic Standard of Wisdom on any dwarf unit. That's just like every unit that can and chooses to have a Runic Standard will have that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But maybe I'm.
Again, it might just be a competitive thing and internal balance stuff. In terms of the artifacts, by the way, if I'm not mentioning it, it hasn't been touched. So not too many. There's loads of them to go through, so I won't say that they stay the same. But in the artifacts, runic artifacts, the Rune of Kingship also goes down from 15 to 10. So, again, that last 10, Ambush and Scout, fair enough.
How recent is it said cannot be taken by models on War Throne? Because, I mean, that would be awesome if you could just ambush a guy on a War Throne. Hey, here I am. I've snuck around the back of you on my big throne.
That'd be pretty good. That'd be really good.
That would.
Right, all the battle runes stay the same. No changes in anything.
Well, I don't have to whinge about Rune of Resilience quite as much anymore, do I?
Yeah, we won't. We'll save that for another time. The king on the War Throne. The War Throne's actually gone up from 250 to 270. Otherwise,
quite popular.
Yeah, it was a really good thing to have, especially giving you the extra hatred stuff. So it goes up slightly, and that is all for the king. The Thane, he goes up in base cost, and his shield goes up both by 5 points. Otherwise, he stays the same. So
I think he's just a really solid character. So they couldn't really have him much cheaper now.
Absolutely. And he's going up, and I think because you're seeing a few of them maybe, but it's only by 10 points if you take a shield. So
I think as well, like,
much of a difference.
Dwarves don't tend to have a lot of chaff options, and so to have cheap characters, they end up being the chaff. So, and they're really solid chaff because they're so tough.
Absolutely.
They can't be too cheap.
Yeah, totally. I suppose a movement March 9 is a decent enough for some.
That's better than some, move 848 infantry that could otherwise be sacrificed. So
Runic Smith comes up again by 5 points along with his shield. So again, they're not like breathtaking ups, but there are ups. So they're all every little. I guess doesn't help in this case. The opposite of any Tesco's. Other Tesco's are available. Anvil of Power says the same. The mightiest runes must be earthed in greater weight of metal. Anvil-shaped slabs are used to embed several. Etc. Etc.
Oh, okay.
There's more.
You weren't going to do the such as. Just leave that hanging.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fine.
Either tune in to read more. Sort of thing. The engineer goes up again by a whopping 5 points, so they're all little ups, but otherwise stay the same. So that's just to his base cost. Nothing really major up to now. We'll carry on going. Dragon Seeker stays the same. And all the mounts, as we said, bar the War Throne for the King, pretty much the same, and haven't changed in terms of
costings.
Well, apart from the War Throne, or rules or anything like that. Clan Warriors are exactly the same as well, so no change in them. The Greybeards are the same. Where there is a change in core is the Clan Marksmen, who base costs go up by, can you guess?
Up 10 points.
5 points. It seems to be a theme.
I wasn't listening to anything you've said up until now, clearly.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So base costs goes up by 5 points. The additional models go down from 15 to 14, and that does not suit my OCD.
No.
Not a fan of that, I'm afraid. But bigger units lose out, I guess.
Well, no, they'll gain, won't they?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
Bigger
if they're more
units,
than
but
20 plus units, will gain. But you probably, I don't know how often that is these days. I remember when good old Terry took a unit, big, massive unit crossbowman that was just like quite scary. So he piled on great weapons and all sorts when they could take them.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, they
But
still
yeah,
can. Possibly.
otherwise up for base cost, down for extra models, and not buy anything hugely significant. Kingsguard. We're into
Ooh.
Kingsguard now, and there is a change with them. Their
Yeah.
base cost goes down by 10 points, and
Mm,
additional models go down by 1 point. So
okay.
Kingsguard, you might see a little bit more,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
It's just such a
So
good stat line. Such a good stat line.
yeah, and it's the same sort of situation with the Deep Watch as well. Their base cost goes down by 10 points, so 230 to 220, and additional models down to 18. So that 18 seems to be the magic number
Yeah.
for dwarves at the minute. So yeah, so both the infantry blocks getting cheaper.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't tend to find many armies where they've got one unit of each. It's usually they're one of those elite blocks alongside
Mm.
others.
Mm.
But yeah, no reason why
Yeah.
you can't.
No, Seekers stay the same, so no change in there. Same with the
Hmm.
Vengeance Seekers. Hold Guardians, there is a slight change. Their base cost goes up by 10 points. Otherwise, they stay the
Okay.
same. And so again, there's little. I guess this seems like more internal balance than it does
Yeah.
anything. If I'm honest, there's not huge great things. Grudge
Constructed of
Busters go.
stone and metal.
Yeah,
Stone
good.
and metals.
Grudge Busters
Okay.
go down 10 points, which is
Oh, that
interesting
was an
because
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, seen them a few times.
I think they're
Uh,
really good.
yeah, I do as well. So seeing them go down 10 points is an interesting one. Still 0 to 2 and all that jazz. Everything's exactly the same, but 10 points cheaper for
Yeah.
your troubles. Miners, their additional points go down 2 points. So 9
Okay.
points per model, which that seems awfully
It's
cheap for a
very,
dwarf.
very cheap, isn't it? Yeah. I mean,
Um,
this is the stat line. This is such a good stat line that
mm,
is dirt cheap. You know,
it is.
like and discipline 9 as well. They're not paying anything for being
Yeah,
discipline
yeah,
9,
yeah.
are they? Like, surely 9 points a model is discipline 9 with stats 1 everywhere else. But no, apparently not.
Absolutely, yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so
yeah,
those
let's not get on that line too much. But yeah,
those ambushing miners a bit cheaper for additional models over the 10. When you get
yeah,
into their uh, weapons, all of them have stayed the same apart from the pistol, which has gone up
yeah.
from 2 to 3 now. So
Okay.
you're either taking the combat weapons, and for the
Hmm.
uh, range weapons you get a bit more expensive for those basically, but it's kind of right with ambushing stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, it tends to be quite a thing. You ambush and you lob stuff at your opponents that weren't
Yeah,
expecting it before they can do something about you.
yeah. Ranges in general got cheaper.
They're
10
cheap, aren't
points.
they?
Yeah, really cheap. 10 points for the base cost. It's gone down to 10 points for extra models as well from 12. And great
Wow,
weapons of all the choices have gone down by 1. Everything else stayed the same. So yeah, you're
this is so cheap.
getting some cheap models. 8 to 20. So again, you're having
Yeah,
the small units, but yeah,
it's an odd
very
one
very
that they
cheap.
start at 8, isn't it? But I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
it's just because they're, I don't know, a little bit out of the normal dwarf mold of ranked up units, are they? So
Yeah.
So,
So I mean,
but,
for the most part, in terms of up to now, you've seen a lot of things going down in terms of infantry, trying to push the infantry blocks again on dwarves. That try and do that, make that a
seems it.
bit more juicy.
Yeah.
Forge Wardens have gone up though, not 190
Yeah.
to 200. Seeing them a little bit more as well. I don't think that will change, to be honest, even
No.
with the increase. Same with the Seam Copters, they go up by 5 points, but that honestly won't change anything, I don't think.
No.
Very minimal costs to go up.
Yeah. I mean, any
Considering,
strength 4 ranked shooting, I think, is is to be respected. And when they hit on 3s, always.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
No, I've seen them quite a bit now, and they're definitely good ones for the future. Where you have seen a bit of a rise, for sure, is the field artillery, the engines of war. So the field artillery base has gone from 90 to 95, with I think all of the options going up as well for those.
Right. I mean, flame cannon 40. Is that a typo? Should it be 400?
Well, that's up from 35 to 40.
Okay.
They've all gone up by an extra 5 points. So the base cost goes up by 5, and every other option goes up by 5 as well. So anything you're going to get goes up by 10 points, essentially.
Okay.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a great deal, I don't think, but that may let us know if that changes around with some.
Changes which combination of artillery you can take, because I mean, I think you can easily still take 2 organ guns, right? Within that, is it?
Oh
20?
yeah, it's all 0 to 2 anyway. It's not percents.
Yeah.
It's all 0 to 2s and stuff. So.
Yeah, but I mean, in engines of war, generally, is it 20% maximum? Or scroll up a bit. There you go. Yeah. So you're still comfortable with double organ guns.
So that takes us to the end of the dwarves, and if we go over to the change log, there showing you all the prices. There's
more red than other books.
I don't think it's a. I think what it's saying is artillery is gone up, infantry goes down. I think for the most part, the characters have been. Again, it's only ever slightly, so it's hard to say nerfed, but they have technically been nerfed. So characters and artillery get nerfed. Everything else sort of looks a little bit more positive as well.
I mean, it might be down to the fact that with dwarves, your infantry are just so generally tough that characters in units of tough dwarves often just don't get attacked anyway. So they might have to pay more for their presence, but I'm just speculating. I don't know. So,
it's an interesting one. It's definitely not one of the best updates, I guess, in terms of price hikes or whatever, or discounts.
I mean, you saw my reactions. I was just like, "Wow, that's still so cheap." So, but I haven't been looking, and maybe that dwarf army on my shelf. Just to cheat, this is just for Tommy, just to annoy him. Maybe I'll have to start playing dwarves. But did I say that? Oh! I wouldn't do it to you, Tommy. Don't worry. Yeah.
But that takes us to the end of the dwarves. Quite a fairly quick one in terms of that. Not really a great deal to talk about. I'm not sure whether, none of the main runes have been hit. None of the main units have really been hit.
No, we didn't get the runic standard of wisdom double in price.
Maybe there might be some subtle changes where this with this actually add up to quite a bit. So the standard net lists or whatever actually go up by 30-40 points. But overall, it's not too bad. And get those Kingsguard and Deep Watch in your list, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. I think so.
Cool.
No, it's good.
Yeah, I think so. So that's the dwarves. Like we said, post in the comments what you think of the update. Do you think we're being quite middle of the road? Is it actually a lot worse than we're saying?
That's usually the reaction, isn't it?
or is it not enough? You dwarf haters out there. Is it?
Of which there are a fair few. Yes.
But yeah. So let us know. Also, let us know what your best bits of fluff in the book are. That'd be really interesting to hear. Otherwise, we're doing plenty more reviews. So come and check us out. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you want even more, go Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, the forum, and of course, YouTube.
Absolutely. Home of PTG.
Yeah. Until next time, then we'll crack on with the next one.
I think so.
But thanks for watching, and we will see you later.